Welcome to Math with Father. Welcome to Math with Father. Subscribe, like and share.
To the last type of equation under indices, which is simultaneous equations. Okay, so with the simultaneous equations, we should know what simultaneous depicts. So simultaneous means doing two things at the same time. Now, here we could be given a linear equation and then a quadratic equation to resolve. We could be given a linear equation or two linear equations to resolve. An example under this simultaneous equation is, so with the first equation, this equation is in a linear form. Equation is in a linear form, and the second equation is in an exponential form. So we are going to resolve this by finding the value of x and y. So we are going to do this or solve this equation at the same time. So this is what simultaneous means, doing two things at the same time. Now let's delve quickly right into this. So with our first equation, x plus 6y equals 3 and 2 raised to the power x plus y equals 1 on 4. Now we have our first equation, x plus 6y equals 3, and then we have the first equation as a linear equation, the second one is as an exponential equation. And from the exponential equation, anytime you come across this, x plus y equals let's say 2. If the bases are the same, the powers or index is equated. So now we'll be getting x plus y equals 2. So we are going to resolve this exponential into its linear form. Now 2x plus y equals 1 on 4. The right hand side of our equation, which is 1 on 4, is equation, which is 1 on 4, is a fraction and could be written in a negative index form. So anytime we have 1 on a, is written as a to the power negative 1. So we are going to write this in a negative index form. Now we have 2 raised to the power x plus y equals 4 raised to the power negative 1. And writing this in a similar base, 4 is the repetition of 2 times 2. So we have 2 repeating itself twice. We have 2 repeating itself twice to the power negative 1. And this is written as 2 raised to the power x plus y equals 2 raised to the power negative 2. And if the bases are the same, the exponents are equated. If the bases are the same, so we have 2, I have 2. Now the exponent, x plus y equals negative 2. And this is the linear form to this exponential. So I'm going to write this linear in place of this. X plus y equals -2. Now we move on to solve. So with simultaneous equation, we have three ways or kinds of doing this. So this equation, x plus and then x plus y equals -2. These two equations can be solved in three ways. So the first one, this can be solved using the elimination. So we have three ways of solving these two equations. Now we have the elimination method. We have the substitution, and then we have the graphical method. We would stick with these two. Methods, either elimination or substitution. So here we are going to use the elimination to solve this, and then at the same time use substitution. So using elimination, to eliminate means to get rid of or do away. So we are going to choose one variable to do away for the first time, and for this equation we are going to eliminate x because x has a coefficient of 1 for the first equation. The second equation also has a coefficient of 1. So to eliminate this, we introduce an operation, x plus 6y so to eliminate this, I'm using the negative or the minus sign to get rid of x. Now x minus x gives us 0, plus 6y minus y gives us 5y, equals 3 minus 2 also gives us, so 3 plus 2, 3 minus 2 is the same thing as 3 plus 2, which is equal to 5. I have 5. Now we have 5y equals 5 from this point, and by finding y, we divide through by 5. Five into itself 1, to itself 5 to itself 1, to itself 1. So y is equal to 1. Now we've gotten our y value. And it's going to help us find our x value. So if y is equal to 1, we are going to put this into any of the equations, either the first equation or the second equation. So x plus 6y is equal to 3. So this is our first equation. And then x plus y is equal to -2, our second equation. X plus y equals -2, second equation. So we are going to put y equals 1 into any of the equations. So into equation 2. It's either 1 or 2. So let me do 1. 1. Now we have x plus, so y is kept here, 6 by 1, which is our y, equals 3. X is equal to plus 6 is equal to 3. And now we want our x value. So x is equal to 3 minus 6. X is equal to negative 3. So now we have our x value to be equal to negative 3 when y was kept into the first equation. Now let's put y into the second equation and ascertain whether we will be getting the same thing as negative 3. So we have x plus y was given as 1. 1 equals negative 2. So this is putting or keeping y inside the second equation. X is equal to negative 2 minus 1. So you see, when y was kept inside the second equation, we are still getting negative 3. So any of the two equation holds. It's either y is kept inside the first equation or the second equation. You will still be getting back the same answer. So now we conclude. Therefore, our value x is equal to negative 3 and y is also equal to 1. So these are our unknowns, our unknown variable for x and y. X equals negative 3, y is equal to 1. So if you want to find out whether what you did was on track or what you did was on track, if you want to find out whether you are correct, now put in these values of x and y back into the equation to find out. So we had y, we had x to be negative 3y to be 1. So we have x, which is neg 3 here, plus 6, and then our y was also 1. Negative 3 plus 6 is giving us 3, which is the result. So means these values of x and y satisfies the given equation. So similar to this, we have 2 raised to the power. X was given as negative 3, y was also given as 1. Is equal to 1 on 4. 2 raised to the power negative 3 plus 1 gives us negative 2. And this is equal to 1 on 4. So this is also telling us that our value x and y are correct. But the method used in finding these x and y was the elimination method. The elimination method. Was the elimination method. Now we are moving on to finding these values x and y using the substitution method. Okay, so to substitute means to take out one of the variables. So here we are going to take out or equate one of the variable, and from these two equations x could be taken out or could be equated to y could be equated to. So let's equate our first equation to x. Now we have x equals 3 negative 6 is taken to this side minus 6y. Now we've made x the subject from the first equation. So after doing this, x is kept inside, so we put x, which is equal to 3 minus 6y into equation 2. X equals 3 minus 6y into equation 2. We have to put, so our equation 2 was also y, x plus y equals negative 2. X plus y equals negative 2. So anywhere x is seen, is replaced with y, 3 minus 6y. We have 3 minus 6y as our x, plus y equals negative 2. So at this point we group like terms. Now we have negative 6y plus y equals negative 2 minus 3. Negative 6y plus y gives us negative 5y. Negative 2, negative 3 gives us negative 5. Now we make y the subject by dividing through by negative 5. Negative 5 into itself 1 into negative 5 1. Negative 5 into itself 1 into itself 1. Now our y is equal to 1. We put in put y equals 1 into any of the equations. So either 1 or 2. So y is kept in any of the equations to find x. So either 1 or 2, anything holds into equation 2. So I have equation 2 over here, so let me put it in. Now I have x plus y minus 2 as my equation 2. So I have x plus y, which is 1, equals negative 2, and x is equal to negative 2, negative 1. X is equal to negative 2, negative 1, giving us negative 3. So our value for x and y, so therefore x is equal to negative 3, comma, y is also equal to 1. So we have x to be negative 3, y to be 1. And using any of the method, either elimination or substitution, you should be getting these values of x and y. So if this video was very helpful, please subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, and post me on post notification anytime I drop new videos. Thank you for your time. I'm out.